Hi, everyone. It's Henry with Knight and Real Estate Advisors. I'm here with one of our newer rock stars, Frank the Tank, over here. And we're going to talk to you guys about important things to look at as a first time buyer. So, first off, Frank, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Henry. A beautiful day out there. I'm looking forward to discussing this. Being a buyer agent, these are things that I deal with on a regular basis. So,
For sure. And especially with the way the market is right now, being
absolutely,
so hot. I mean, it's so crucial to be on top of these things, right?
100%.
Awesome. So let's start off, Frank. I mean, what's something that you look out for when you're
Well,
taking your buyers through, where you should tell them, hey, you know what, if I see this, I'm going to tell you to be cautious about it, or at least get some
absolutely.
sort of
You know what?
advice on it.
In most showings, as you can imagine, we walk through the front door. They're looking at the main floor, the living room, the kitchen, everything else. And one of the things that I check out right away is windows. If the feel drafty, or at certain times of year, you can see if the windows are sweaty. You know that they're going to need replacement. As we always say, like the windows are a big ticket item, so it's something
Mhm.
that we look at right away going onto the main floor. So, what are your thoughts on that, Henry?
Yeah, no, for sure. Windows are they're a pretty expensive item, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and you need good windows because especially with the weather in Canada, we definitely need good windows.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're pretty penny, and it's something to look out for sure. And
Right.
it's easy too. So you can, I'm sure you know this, Frank, but you can see how old the window is, right?
Some of them have a strip inside with the date. Is that what you're
Mhm.
referring to?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
You can
yeah, the
usually
windows in
tell.
the house
Yeah, you can usually tell when they were made.
when they're manufactured.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
exactly.
that's right.
So,
So
um,
another item, like once we've gone through the house, through the main house, we always go down into the basement. And a few things that I want to check down there are the age of the furnace. Now, my quick check on the furnace is the white PVC piping, the chimney piping coming out of that. If I see big stainless chimneys coming out, I know it's an old furnace. A lot of times you'll find a tag on there with a date on it. So we want to look at it because really once you get into around the 15-year range, your the furnace is starting to be on its way out.
yeah,
So when I see a house with clients and the house looks great everywhere else, and I see an older furnace, obviously the furnace is working. When you go in there, we'll check it on the wall, make sure it's working. And I always tell people, okay, this furnace is going to be an item of concern, so start putting a little bit of money aside and prepare yourself to buy a furnace.
it's
So
funny
that
when you walk in and you see those, those really old furnaces that
oh
kind of
yeah,
look like
yeah,
an actual like truck.
yeah. Or I always say it looks almost like a robot with the arms and everything coming off. And
Yeah, exactly.
and a lot of people have done the furnaces already. Same with the air conditioning, because the air conditioning can be very expensive on the other end as well.
Mhm,
I don't think an air conditioning unit usually lasts quite as long as a furnace, so that's something to look at as well.
mhm.
So also, once you're in the basement, whether it's a finished basement or an unfinished basement, you want to look at the foundation. You want to look at water leaks, see if you can see. It's easy when you have an older home and it's a stone foundation or a block foundation. You
Mhm.
look for the water damage and sites of water. A lot of times you'll see someone has done a huge paint job and tried to cover it up, but you can usually see that, and that can be an issue too, because you're into thousands of dollars once you start digging a trench around your house and putting in waterproofing. It can be expensive, right?
Mhm.
So that's another area to look at.
Pro tip:
Also, when
if
you're
you're a
down,
seller watching this, please do not do that. Please do not cover it over with paint. All right.
yeah, no, there's no paint that's going to fix that issue.
Yeah, exactly.
So the other another thing, this is not as big. Well, it could be when you're looking at a very old home. You want to make sure it's not knob and tube. A lot
Mhm.
of houses that are, I think, in the 1970s period, some of them have aluminum wiring, and that's easy enough to check. Now they have a system where they put pigtails on the end of the wiring, goes into your panel, and it corrects the issue. I guess the issue, from what I understand, is the aluminum, from aluminum to copper, you get a corrosion that can cause issues eventually with the wiring. And the other issue that you'll see in older homes, sometimes they have fuses instead of breakers. So again, this is going to be money that's going to have to be spent at one point or another to get that done. So
Super tough to get insurance on both.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for both those items, like especially aluminum,
Yep,
it's really tough.
yep. You're right.
Um, And knob and tube, I think you still can, but eventually you have to fix it. That's like,
Yeah, there's, I find the houses that I've seen, a lot of the wiring's been done, and there's just a little bit of leftover knob and tube. But yeah,
yeah.
that's such archaic technology. You want to get that changed. There's a reason it's hard to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's just not safe, right?
exactly.
So, the final thing that I would recommend is roofing. You want to look at your roofing. If you get an inspector, the inspector is going to go up in the attic. They're going to look for leaks from there. But a lot of times you can see if a roof needs replacing when you see it from the outside. When the shingles are curled and peeled and that type of thing, you can tell that it's going to need a roof as well, right? So,
That's roofs that's definitely a big ticket item there.
100%. Yeah, you're probably looking like a minimum of $6,000 to fix a smaller roof, and can go anywhere to $10,000 or $20,000 depending on the house, right?
Yeah,
when you're doing a roof. So that is a big item. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what we always refer to as the heavy lifting. These are the main things you want to look at when you're a first time buyer, or really any buyer. But when you're going in to look at a house, these are issues, big ticket items that you want to look at.
And you know what, Frank, you touched on a really, really good point earlier, talking about bringing in a home inspector. I think that's what it's all about, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Getting a trusted professional in there, someone that's gonna have a second set of eyes on your home, someone that knows the big ticket items and knows what to look for in a home, right?
Absolutely. And they can tell you what's got to be done, what will need to be done, and what can happen if it's not done, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give a little bit of advice, but I'm a realtor. I'm not an inspector, and I caution, and I always make sure that I tell people, I'll give you a little bit of advice, tell you what I know, but if you want these big ticket items looked after,
Mm-hmm.
you get professionals. So,
and I'm just gonna throw it out there. Anybody who's looking for a home inspector, Patrick Gulka out of Rock Solid Home Inspections, he is the go-to guy. He's the guy to see.
He's the man.
Yes, he is the man.
Perfect.
If you take a look at even on like his Google page, he's a good friend of mine. But if we take a look at his Google page, he has so many 5-star reviews. Everybody loves the guy. He's amazing.
That's the guy you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we've covered pretty much everything here, Henry.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you touched on some great points, Frank. And if you are a buyer who is looking to get into the market, Frank is amazing. He comes from a lot of experience. He comes from a great team as well. Very, very well seasoned agent, and just a great guy overall.
Thanks, Henry.
No worries, Frank. Frank, if the people are looking to reach out to you, where can they reach you at?
You can call me anytime on my cell at 905-531-7057, or you can reach me by email, frank@knightrealestate.com.
That's awesome. And if anybody is looking, just to talk real estate, talk to Frank, talk to myself. My number is 905-746-5418. Alternatively, you can reach me on email, henry@knightrealestate.com. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Frank, I really love this video here with you. I'd love to do this with you again.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch you guys next week. All right.
Thanks, Henry.
Take care.
See you guys.